khai mình phải khai cái coi tâm máy nhưng mà mình hay hó mới rồi phải khai đâu thôi đó và phải khai phải cái rong mà nó rộng tới đó nghe anh lại từ cái rồi chúng tôi bom ôn mới nè nè bom ôn nè phải khai đó nè mình phải khai coi bom ôn nè mình phải khai phải cái rong mà nó rong ấy đó anh lại đâu đó
Wow, what a showcase from Community Language Schools of South Australia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the screen again for a video which will actually give us an insight into the culture and the importance of learning of these languages through their voices of their students. So let's look at the video.
Hello.
Opportunities and freedom to speak. I'm not limited to one language, and I can speak it with my mom or with my family.
Phía không bóng tôi kêu gì mắt ban đấy này bóng ôn này là cứu thật bại như này tôi mai cho mình là bấy bóng ôn đó kia gì vậy mình tắt như mắt ở chun bóng ôn luôn ăn lưới đó thằng lưới bóng ôn này cho chuyện thiên vậy kia đâu à
rồi lên áp giá đi cho nên thái hay 30 kg am cần ngọc phố sẵn hay ban này hay có biên đã mua tập việc sang để ban cho luôn với ban
mặc cho mọi toán mọi bố đó cho ban cái tôi thích bằng này là bố nhưng là cứ bố nó còn bấy giờ chui máy miền một miền mót đó và đòi cho con thế nào và
When I first started going to Latin school, I only went because my mum forced me. But now, like growing up, I've really learned about the culture, and it's like taught me to be like really proud of being Latvian. Now it's kind of boosted my self-esteem because it's like I have a whole other thing to talk about, and it's something that like I really am proud of.
Like just a real big eye-opener to who I am, and I could really explore those ideas and push on those ideas. It's just amazing, really. I like hearing their stories as well. It's hearing where other people have come from, what their experiences are, and how I can connect to other people.
And there's so many different people that I can connect with. I'm like, oh, you're from Kenya, well, my granddad was there. It's different, and I've got so many different connections I can make, and it's something that like excites me. To talk about my story, to talk about other people's multicultural stories, it's exciting.
Everybody in Adelaide, I reckon, knows a Latvian somehow, and they really find that even though we're a tiny little country that no one really knows about, we are so full of culture.
We're trying to make globalized students and people who think about the rest of the world, not just Australia, by telling people and teaching people and kids about multiculturalism, showing them, oh, today is this day, it's Holi, and this is the Indian Festival of Colour, and this is what they do. Or today is Eid, and this is what Muslims do on Eid. You can be Australian but celebrate different festivals. Teach people that, show them what it's like to be Australian but also Indian, or Australian and Kenyan, or the Australian and Canadian. There are ways in which I express myself much better in Arabic. Sometimes I will just switch and I won't even think about it. Sometimes I do it because the idea in English is just not coming out right. And there's times where I find myself trying to say something to a friend and I can't say it. I'm like, I wish you could speak Arabic, but I can tell you like that. But I have to try to think about English.
So I actually like to learn Canadian language. I think it would be great if my friends could learn Latvian. I think that's the thing. Even though they might be born here and don't really speak the language, they should still have a go at learning it.
And I feel like so many more people would benefit on the opportunity. Even if you don't speak another language, try it. Try expressing yourself in something that you won't even understand. Look at how you might be able to express yourself in other cultures or in other languages, and just have that experience to understand the other side of it.
Tell me what this is. What does that mean?
It means I became proud of my culture in your hands, like within you. You know what, Australian is a great thing to unite us all. At the end of the day, bring your culture to the table, because that thing makes you you, and it makes you unique, and it brings so much flavour into the world, doesn't it?
That was fantastic and well done, and a big thank you to everyone who were involved in putting this showcase today. So as we now move to a formal part of the day, the official proceedings, I would like to welcome everyone who has just joined us and who have joined us throughout the morning at the 2023 Multicultural Festival today. So we are now privileged to be joined once again by Carl Telfer for the official greeting to country and First Nations performance by Yalaka Dance and Cultural Group. So to tell you a little bit about Carl, Carl Winda Telfer is a Burka, senior man of the Malawira Mayuna, the Dry Forest people, a tribal clan group of the Ghana Mayuna nation from the Adelaide region. Born into the family of strong cultural knowledge, Carl brings many people together through ways of understanding the spirit of place. Carl's cultural education programs and cultural immersions at Kanyanyapila provide an opportunity for the wider community to experience the cultural landscape and the spirit of place in a deeper way. He now holds the wisdom of his family, which his mother passed to him, so we may find the sacred balance through cultural and spiritual renewal, the spirit of humanity. Yalaka, a language word meaning old wisdom, new ways, is an Adelaide-based Aboriginal dance and cultural group who bring the spirit of ancient traditions into today's world through contemporary Aboriginal dance, song and storytelling. Yalaka inspires peoples to strengthen their own culture and identity through the learning of ancient cultural knowledge and wisdom. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carl Telfer and Yalaka. With a big round of applause, everyone.
Where you sit is an ancient country here. The spirit of place holds something very significant. It has done since the first sunrise. For us, we are still recovering ourselves in our own country. And being here today to speak for country, to all of you who come from the Kura Yarta Tawala, the Earth Circle, to be here to understand what that means for us. We've got to acknowledge that. We have to come together in the circle, the story of place and peace, and rebuild and regain the trust as we walk together through the generations. So I acknowledge all the dignitaries here, especially Your Excellency and your amazing husband sitting right beside you, and you too, Premier, and you too, Minister, and all the ministers, and of course you too, Lord Mayor, and of course everybody that's here as leaders of your communities that are here. please invite me to your circle, or maybe you should come to ours, eh? If we make that fire, we'll call you to ours, and we can sit down together and have good yarn, about where we're going. But where we're going is into a time now where the young people need to be strong, especially the men. And this song here, and this dance is just about that. This is called Waitna, and it's about the boomerang. It's about the strength of the tree, because we've got to be strong now. We've got to be strong. Big trouble up ahead. Every one of us, we've got to be strong. Waitna! 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 Tanda. This dance now is about Tanda, this place here, Tandanyanga, red kangaroo. Very important, this one, just like the emu, because in this country here, them fellas can't walk backwards. We can only go forwards. We must do that together. And if you look behind you or up there later on, you'll see something there that symbolizes that. The equality or equally, or I don't know how we tell that story. But we've got many stories to tell, and this is just about the dance, because this is where it starts, on the ground, in the spirit of this place. So we greet you in the short time that we have. Usually takes a long time, but maybe we should make the time now before we run out. So we're here today to greet you all to the circle of this place. And don't forget us, because we are the oldest. I think they say that. We are the first. Come sit with us, eh? Because we're hurting now. And we're recovering ourselves in our own country. We need more brothers for to make it, but we need you very much. And I'm going to begin for the young fellas. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl, and thank you, London Dance and orchestra crew for your greetings to country and a wonderful performance. It is now my great honor to welcome our official speakers and dignitaries to today's event. Her Excellency, the Honourable Francis Adamson, AC, Governor of South Australia, and Mr. Rod Bunton. The Honourable Peter Malinauskas, MP Premier of South Australia. The Honourable Zoe Battinson, MP Minister for Multicultural Affairs. Mr. Steve Jurganas, MP Federal Member for Adelaide, representing the Federal Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. The Honourable John Gardner, MP, Shadow Minister for the Arts and Festival, representing the Leader of the Opposition. The Honourable Emily Burke, MLC, Assistant Minister for Autism. Miss Lucy Hood, MP, Member for Adelaide. The Right Honourable, the Lord Mayor of Adelaide, Dr. Jane Lomax Smith, AM. Members of the South Australian Council Corps. Mr. Damien Walker, Chief Executive Department of the Premier and Cabinet. Ms. Adriana Christopoulos, Chair, South Australian Multicultural Commission, and members of the South Australian Multicultural Commission. So ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome them with a big round of applause, please. For our first speaker of the day, it is my honor to invite Her Excellency, the Honourable Francis Adamson, AC Governor of South Australia, to the stage.
Multiculturalism is a whole of community endeavour and commitment in South Australia, and that's why it's so wonderful to see the Premier, Ministers, Shadow Ministers, State and Federal Members, the Lord Mayor, members of the Multicultural Commission, and all of you here, as well as those wonderful performers who are absolutely amazing. We've already applauded them, and I know there'll be more later, but they are a visible manifestation. As Governor, I have the honour of both travelling overseas on behalf of our state, as well as welcoming foreign delegations and representatives to Government House, strengthening our serious relationships with the rest of the world. On these occasions, I am proud to represent South Australia's vibrant multicultural community and the many benefits it brings to our state. Our diversity is one of our greatest strengths on the international stage, as it inspires confidence and trust, as well as promoting people-to-people links and opportunities for connection. As Study Adelaide patron, I have the pleasure annually of presenting a number of international student awards, and Rod and I love hosting an end-of-year event for students at Government House. By studying in South Australia, international students bring a wide range of cultures and experiences to our community and are wonderful ambassadors for our state on return to their home countries. Rod and I have opportunities to meet regularly with community members and organisations across the state who are working energetically on behalf of multicultural communities. We've been struck by the extraordinary efforts of volunteers in multicultural organisations, not only to nurture a love of language, as we heard earlier, and culture, but to share that culture with others. Their willingness to actively contribute to South Australia, whether that's paving the way for others, overcoming barriers, or participating in festivals like this one, is to be applauded. Each year it's also my pleasure to host the Governor's Multicultural Awards at Government House. These awards recognise a number of those volunteers for their devoted efforts throughout the year. Friends, as a community, we walk together on ancient lands in the footsteps of an ancient culture. We are a society that has evolved over time with many faces and many voices and many languages, shaping who we are, providing these our story is one and greater respect which others maybe a dancer, a musician, running a stall, preparing food, volunteering in a wide variety of ways. Thank you for your commitment to building genuine friendship, connection and understanding across the many different cultures represented in South Australian society. I also thank the Premier and Government of South Australia for organising.
Well, good afternoon. Can I start by acknowledging that we are on the lands of the Garden people, and I too would like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and thank Carl and Yelika for their welcome to the country. To the Governor of South Australia, Her Excellency Francis Adamson AC, as well as Rod Bunton, Minister for Multicultural Affairs Zoe Beddison, Assistant Minister for Autism Emily Burke, and there is a sensory space over there near the red tent for the first time at this event this year, thanks to Emily's work. To Steve Georgianis, representing the federal government, to Mr John Gardner, representing the opposition, ladies and gentlemen, one and all. This is genuinely South Australia at its best. Multiculturalism is something that this country and this state does exceedingly well. It's one of the reasons why we're all so proud to be able to call this city and this state our home. And when we think about home, I for one would find it unimaginable that at some point in the future I would ever leave. Leaving one's home would never be an easy decision, even under the most difficult of circumstances. Yet despite that, tens of thousands of South Australians have done exactly that. They have actively chosen to leave their homelands and depart to a completely different environment, a foreign country, often on the other side of the world altogether. That courage to make that decision, that determination to be able to execute that act and arrive here in Australia and make the most of it is something that deserves extraordinary recognition. To leave one's home in the pursuit of opportunity is one of the most generous acts that anyone has ever performed for this country, and it has made our country and state a far better place for it. Over 150 different countries are represented in our state. Countless cultures, many different creeds, great degrees of diversity exist in our state because of each and every one of you. We are all the beneficiaries of it. But it is absolutely critical as we celebrate that rich diversity of culture in such a safe and harmonious place here in South Australia that we remind ourselves it remains an ongoing mission for each and every one of us to remain generous of heart to those who have yet to call Australia home, yet might do so at some point in the future. We are a generous country. It is critical that we maintain that sense of compassion towards one another, particularly those who might be in a time of need. As we look around the world today and we see difficult times, we see challenging environments, indeed we see conflict, today's a great opportunity to remind ourselves just how lucky we are here in one of the most beautiful countries, one of the most diverse cultures anywhere in the world. We renew our commitment at this festival today and into the future, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of 2023 and has a safe and Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Premier. Very well said. It is a place of multicultural and we can definitely witness that today. It is now my pleasure to invite the Honourable Zoe Beddison MP to the stage for the speech.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Can I recognise the Kaurna people, the traditional owners of the land, and their leaders past, present and emerging. Welcome to the 2023 Multicultural Festival. I am so excited that today has finally arrived. Can I tell you how brilliant it is to stand up here and look out and see the colour and the excitement and the flavours and the food that you've so generously come here to share today. I could not be any more prouder of our state and what this event means for multiculturalism. This festival is a celebration of our shared humanity, a celebration of our personal stories, and a celebration of the contributions of our culturally and linguistically diverse groups have made and continue to make to enrich our society. South Australia is home to people from across different continents, speaking different languages, practicing different cultures, and following different faiths. We discovered long ago that our cultural diversity is one of our greatest strengths. Despite these differences as a state, we have pulled together in the same direction to create a place of opportunity and inclusion for everyone who calls South Australia home. The reality is, whether we are Australians by choice or Australians by birth, we all have an ancestral connection to a different land, and therefore we all have a migrant story. Combined, these stories form part of South Australia's story, a story that continues to evolve with each new wave of migrants. Together, we have changed the face of our state, how others see us, and how we see our place in the world. The Multicultural Festival aims to provide a safe and positive environment for which people can showcase their cultures, traditions and heritage to all South Australians. Not only does this festival contribute to the strengthening of cultural understanding, it also provides a harmonious platform to celebrate new and emerging cultures and demonstrate the positive influence of cultural diversity in our community. It was a great joy of mine to walk around the site earlier. We see different stalls every time we hold this festival. We also have the activities for you to enjoy. And this enables each and every one of our diverse community to participate. I know there were more than 150 cultural organisations who formally expressed an interest to be part of this festival. It tells us two things. Firstly, how much people enjoy being part of this event. And secondly, it tells us that the Multicultural Festival is a very special event on our South Australian calendar. When we came to government, I came with an election commitment that this would be held on an annual basis. And I'm so thrilled that every single year we're going to be coming together to celebrate our diverse community. Before I end, can I thank each and every one of the volunteers here. We have volunteers here from government, but most importantly, to each and every one of our multicultural leaders who give time to show their children and their grandchildren that they can be both Australian and also have a strong connection to their heritage. They volunteer to teach the language, the music, the dances, and without your volunteering time, today would be impossible. So that is my greatest thanks. I'm so delighted that Her Excellency is here today, the Premier, Steve Georgianis, the Federal Member for Adelaide, representing
Andrew Giles, the Minister for Multicultural and Citizenship, and our Lord Mayor as well. What this means is that our community, as a diverse community, is welcomed and supported. I have a wonderful honour of being your Minister for Multicultural Affairs. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Thank you very much.